Yep. So I thought I'd make a beat and give you some nice little factoids that you can use in your day-to-day life. You know a lot of these little useless facts that maybe could help you in the near future. Who knows? First things first. So when you're changing a tire, I'm not going to give you the whole spiel on how to change a tire, but when you're done with the process and you tighten up all the bolts onto the tire, you bring the car down, but not all the way, and you tighten up those bolts one last time. Really good. You put your whole body weight on it and make sure it's nice and secure before you start driving. Here's something I like to do. When you're cutting a tomato, you cut the tomato in half, and you get one of the halves, and then you cut that half. It's much safer than having one round tomato and just cutting it slice by slice. You also want to do that with the potato because you can cut yourself if you lose control of a round potato. So you want a nice flat surface. Of course, it's not going to be perfectly diced, but most people aren't professional vegetable cutters, so that's what I do to kind of stay safe and to keep things okay. Speaking of vegetables, when cutting an onion to prevent yourself from crying, you kind of want to run the onion under some cold water or put it in the freezer and then cut it finely as quickly as possible. That has worked for me a few times. I don't really cry when I cut onions, but running it under cold water or putting it in the freezer does help you. Now, they do say getting a nice 8-hour sleep is key, and you're right, that's how you do it. Most people need 6 to 8 hours of sleep, but try to get that full 8 hours and you'll be nice and refreshed in the morning. Looking for that boost in the morning but don't want to drink coffee? Eat an apple in the morning. It contains 13 grams of natural sugar and it'll keep you awake just as good as that cup of coffee would. Make sure you tell your friends, family, significant other how much you care for them and how much they're valued and wanted in your life. That little bit of a reminder goes a long way and makes sure that they know that they're valued. You can save upwards to $100 a month by bringing your own lunch to work. Making yourself a nice sandwich or salad really goes a long way in terms of saving, and once you start doing that, you'll see your pockets grow. Putting your phone in do not disturb mode when you're ready to go to sleep goes a great distance. I personally don't do that, but there's plenty of insomniacs I know in life who definitely can use that. Sleeping is key, and that little bit of silence you'll get, and by not checking your phone, will help you get those 8 hours that you need. Need a first date idea? Try going to the museum, the park, a walk, the beach, anywhere you guys can talk to each other and grow some common ground. Because movies, that you're not really talking to each other. A nice lunch is nice. Getting a nice cup of coffee at Starbucks or whatever really does go a long way as well. Not so much pressure to spend as much money, and usually the company is better than the meal. Got sauce with your restaurant meal yesterday, but need to warm it up? Well, the thing I like to do is I get a nice paper cup, I cut it in half, put the sauce in the paper cup and microwave it for about 5 to 10 seconds, and it should be nice and warm when it comes out. Hate going to the gym? Try bringing a friend with you. Try bringing in a nice cup of water or setting up a nice playlist for yourself so you have a little bit more fun going. Also, don't be scared to ask for help to learn how to use the machines and look up some techniques online so you know how to do it. It's not worth hurting your body just to get in shape. And learning the proper techniques will make sure that you are doing things properly and safely. Boundaries are incredibly important in relationships, and setting them up early is incredibly important. Better to get it out the way early than having a whole big debacle about it later on, right? Learn how to have fun in whatever you're doing. If you're miserable and you're a musician, you're not going to make good music. If you're an artist and you're miserable, you're not going to make great art. If you chase money in your respective fields, you're not going to have a good time. So really try to learn how to have fun in it. Instead of chasing money, enjoy yourself while doing it. YouTube has plenty of tips, tricks, and techniques on how to do things. Just Google search it, and it should pop up in video form. Retaining something that's shown to you has been proven to be much more effective than learning it in writing. And if you don't have a mentor, whatever you're trying to do, or a teacher in your online class, YouTube is the key. And you will get it as quickly as you can because there's so many different resources to learn from it. You do not need an education to be successful, but education can absolutely aid you in whatever you're trying to do. So really take it with a grain of salt. but also take it seriously. Make sure you pick the right friends because you are who you hang out with. And not picking the right friends could bring you down to their level. So really try to pick people who you can build with and vibe with and who bring you up and not down. If you sell something on Craigslist or let go or offer up, make sure you meet in a well-public area where there's people around. In the daytime, of course, so people know where you are and people can see you. Make sure you text people letting them know that you met somebody and you're going to meet up with them. A lot of bad things have been happening on these sites, so make sure you're safe. At job interviews, make sure you bring 3 resumes with you. Usually they have it with them, but it's better to be sure, and it shows a little bit of initiative and preparation. So make sure you carry some resumes with you in the interview. Maybe carry some in your car with you if you know you're on a job search. You never know what's going to happen. Speaking of resumes, condense your resume down to 1 page because it looks really good and neat. You have everything neat and organized into 1 sheet of paper. Lastly, make sure you take care of your mental health and make sure you're mentally in the right place because mental health and physical health go hand in hand and one can destroy the other. So make sure things are okay with your mind and your body will be sure to follow. This has been Saul. Peace.